Matey, welcome back. My name's Chad Birchill.
Wow. I'm thinking maybe I'll do a Canadian accent, but
there's really not one. Like unless you like drag like hammer instead of hammer, like
it's just be an American
you
accent.
could do like a Newfie, like, hey, bye, tell me what's going on, bye. How you doing, eh?
What's the one you always do? Get her, bud.
Yeah, get her, bud.
Yeah, but that was in an Australian accent, so I wasn't actually doing anything slightly entertaining for anybody. I can go like full locker and go bloody Steve Irwin, mate.
Bloody
Crikey.
Steve Irwin. Fair dinkum, mate.
But for those of you just joining us, we are on map number 2 of the last series of the day here on the main stream. We do have the secondary stream going on right now. There's another banger of a match, Ents versus FaZe Clan. And before that was Tyloo versus Big, where Big were able to survive after losing the first map where they're up 14-3, and then that series had to go all 3 maps. But this one, we had Na'Vi on the map choice of NRG, able to get quite a commanding victory, I would say. And everybody was looking good. It wasn't a carry performance by Simple and Electronic by any means. There was contributions from everybody across the board. NRG went for a very force-by-heavy style of play, and it didn't pay off for them. There's nothing you can do about that in hindsight. This isn't an elimination match. It's just a progression match. So the winner of this one will be going through to the playoffs.
I like playoffs. I got to tell you, these guys do too. Yeah, it's a tough one to be Na'Vi and down 1 and 2. It's tough for NRG as well. The last time that NRG were in China, I shouldn't say the last time.
I am Shanghai.
Was that the last time they were here? I was going to say that with certainty. They wouldn't have been at WSG because they're a mixed team. So yeah, the last time they were in China, they were victorious. They won IEM Shanghai. So
over Tyloo.
They would, yeah, that's right, in the final. And well, obviously in the final to win it. That's a redundancy. But yes, it was over Tyloo, and you would think that they would want to come back and replicate at least some of that success. But to go down 1 and 3, if that's the case, is anything but acceptable from their point of view. Obviously fresh to a change. Sure, you said they played 18 matches now. Make it now 19 maps, I should say, with Tarek. They haven't played offline until this event. That's going to take some time.
Of course, the debut on land will get a little bit of time to get used to, and the desk also spoke about making room because Tarek is another big fragger coming on in replacing Fugly, who was more of a supportive, more of a bomb site anchor element, but you can see him.
He's super underrated in that role, by the way.
Yeah, he's been doing it for a very long time as well. So under window control has been taken. Right now, the player in the vent room is Breezy, so if they don't consider this position, they might get their heads blown on off, but they're able to abscond him and make their way up through connector. It does appear that it wants to be an A-split, Simple through Apps, Flamey through a ramp with the bomb down back towards spawn. Daps is going to spot them up and realize that this will be the A attack. Cirque has to hold on to window, and Daps has to do the same towards CT spawn as they've go for a retake situation. Jules now with Ju and Edward takes down Tarek. Cirque will trade one back, and now he's being swarmed from behind, but that's a choke from Edward. He hasn't landed the kill, and now things have turned in NRG's favor.
Look at Cirque, 3 kills. Finally, Flamey says that's enough. He'll snuff the wick. But he's still got the... Oh, I hate to see that. You do. Pulls the bomb out, hopes for the best. Hope is not necessarily what you want when you're planting towards CT on Mirage. Kills are. Simple's got one, Flamey's got the other. They baited them out. Time works in their favor because they got impatient on the NRG side. I have to say, there was really no necessity to peek. Aside from maybe just a quick check and look at the follow-up. Simple just nails Breezy.
Wow. I feel like they thought they could isolate a 1v2 duel there while the bomb was going down, but that wasn't to be the case, and 2 absolutely fantastic shots were coming out from the duo left alive on the bomb side, and they were able to rob one away after Cirque's heroics over towards the window room. Let's see, will they consider going for the force buy here, or will they change their approach? This is going to be the full eco this time round from NRG. Na'Vi, Mac 10, UMP for Zeus and Electronic. 3 AKs up on the remainder of the players. And the 5-man mid-stack, which we're on board with right now, is what Na'Vi have to put a stop to. After it isn't a quick play, they're going to dip on back and prod out to other areas of the map to see if there's lurking. Edward has to deal with Breezy pushing up middle. Zeus is going to try and come out underpass. He's unsuccessful. He will go down, and that is a gun in the hands of NRG. Edward will trade off. Now that Electronic has got one over towards B and sees that on the bomb side. Oh, this is getting messy. Now Cirque's upgraded to an AK and he's actually cut off the rotation for Electronic to fall back. He just has to stay pinned in this position. He'll fall as well. This is 5 USPs turned into an AK picked up, turned into a 2 versus 3 situation. And now Simple stuck on catwalk. Edward can plan in A. Very smart by Secret. Oh my god.
Wow, Daps just got wrecked. He's so fast in those situations. The reaction shots on the off angles. Cirque, he's got Edward. He's going to have to be fast again this time. Bombs down over toward A, but no panic because it's planted for connector. That causes some concern. Ethan jumped over it. Simple doesn't have a lineup. I knew he thought he did because he was staring in one direction, not moving at all. And he's got this all wrong. It's done. They're going to steal his back. Simple needed to move. Be proactive. Get inside of the smoke. Get aggressive. I know he knows they have AKs, but do something of it. And he's going to keep that one AK. Now, perhaps in his mind, he knows that's enough. And just like last game, for the third straight half, it's 1-1.
That's wild that nobody's
No one has converted a pistol.
That's wild.
Yeah, it's 2019. Everyone's converting. It's the cool thing.
All right, well.
Not for these guys.
Not at all. And, well, Na'Vi aren't going to take the save. They're going to go for the force buy. Going to be frustrated with losing to 5 USPs. I think frustration is probably at an all-time high, as they did lose a lot of rounds in that first half to weaken buy rounds, but still were able to get relatively easy victory if you just look at the scoreline on Inferno. So they've been able to get one AK up, a couple of deagles, still on a UMP, so the buy, not ideal, but AK the man with the plan. He has the biggest gun, so to speak. Orgs and AWP have already come out for NRG, so that's something to note when you win a round, when you're actually on full eco, you have a lot of residual cash moving into the next, so they're feeling happy about this one. Close towards connector is Electronic. We might see him go with a duel towards Cirque and Co very soon. But it will look like it ends in an A play, as the bomb is down in T-spawn in Flamey's hands. Simple will be through Palace. Zeus and Electronic potentially through connector here. Pushing through is Electronic now. He's seen him do a lot of these kind of plays where he bursts through the smoke, either it's just fading or a teammate's flash or some action on the other side of the map will be the trigger. Speaking to the teammates, talking to the queue to go. 2 players towards CT, Daps and Cirque to deal with, and Ethan will probably have to swing through this window position or back them up. So, well, 24 seconds left. We've seen the late rounds go wrong. Now the flash comes out. The hit is on.
Cirque waiting with the AWP will hold at CT. He even throws an incendiary out to disallow them from crossing sandwich and getting deep behind default triple. They could wide peek with more confidence, but they were safely positioned, and he's unable to hit the shot. Breezy's got a chance to walk in through the already dashed vent at window, but makes noise when he lands, and Electronic should. Oh, I heard that. Apparently not. Apparently just out of his audible range, and he's watching out the vent. They got caught off. Breezy with one. Q's in Cirque for the other. Wants to do what he can, but Ethan, this is an incredible retake so far. Zeus with only one, but it is Simple left alive. Wasn't capable last time. This time he might be.
Oh my god!
What is that transfer on the third, and Simple hit Cirque as well? No way he hit that third shot. That makes up for it.
Well, too little too late, as they will get the defuse through. NRG will take the round, but only just.
What's this third? That's ridiculous. You are right. They did get the defuse just barely. But you'll never have a better man to try and take a chance in a 1-on-4.
It's difficult not to be happy after a play like that. Sure, you did lose the round. It's in the early stages, but you just absolutely shattered any weapons that they wanted to carry through. You said it was looking like a good retake. Well, it definitely was. They were doing everything right. The pause will come in. They're going to have to regather their thoughts here, and Simple's going to get another AK up. They'll continue to try and apply pressure to the economy. Navi's been doing this for a very long period of time now with their T-sided approach. We talked about it before on Inferno, about getting the tools in the hand of the best player in the world. Well, you can see just why yet again, constantly putting his skill on display. Cirque will continue, I guess, lucky enough to get an AWP out once more, and back in the action here. Close that ramp play right now can be noted. There's a lot of information being gathered for NRG early. That is by Daps with an MP9, so that might come into play. Top mid-smoke is going to land, but Cirque still has a massive gap to be able to spot the player jumping across. And Redwood's actually going to pre-fire him. He did do a bit of damage, but the Tracers gave away his position, and Cirque is able to take him down with the opening for the round. So the mid duel has been won by the CTs here, and now the next plan of attack will have to be out. Na'Vi, as the duel towards a ramp is going to keep Daps on notice. That'll force him to use his utility. He can hang around for a little bit longer or go close towards Palace, which appears to be the case. Will a flash come in? Because Ethan's in a position to throw one. No, just dry. Daps walks in and he offers up a free kill. Uncharacteristic there from the in-game leader. I'm not sure the necessity to go for that information play. However, 45 seconds left. Na'Vi really don't have any territory on the map. They're just getting mid-control now. Nobody over towards B-Apps. They're going to have to make their mind up pretty soon on what they want to do.
Electronic works his way down the ramp with the smoke dissipating, so he'll have to keep some attention toward the window, but he's got two friends to help him do so at the top of it, and they will redress said smoke. Cirque, AWP, and as always, towards CT. Bit of a different setup, though, because they were underneath of Shadow as well, but Zeus found that shot with a wall bang. Zeus! The wall bang came through from top connector, so he got the half wall to fire at, and then he just absolutely obliterates the Opera with an AK. Single shot to do so, plants the bomb afterward. It's a good series from him. We're very critical of his individual performances rather than his in-game leading, but tonight, if the leading was lacking on Inferno with some of the plants, he's made up for it with kills. And they are still one map ahead in this series and looking to tie it up 2-2 after milliseconds separated them from victory in the last one. Zeus again. Another 3 kills for him, 2 for Simple. That's the combo tonight. It really is. Electronic and Flamey are in this. Don't discount them. But Zeus and Simple are doing most of the work.
Yeah, and just to touch on Zeus as an in-game leader, he's one of the last true in-game leaders from the old school generation, you know, where he was very stoic, what he said goes kind of thing. You would never question your in-game leader back in the day. A lot of that have transitioned. There's a lot more things done by committee. The coaches now have massive impact roles and they're looked to as being more leaders of the team. Zeus is still one of those vocal figures, and now NRG are forced back down onto pistols, but we saw what they did with 5 USPs. There's no reason they can't get it done with 3 Deagles and 2 P250s, especially with a flash behind Daps to potentially isolate a kill. This time round, there'll be 3 players going towards middle. Edwards gotten across to the Delpan position early, Simple towards the back of Cat, and that flash isn't going to give them really anything here. Zeus coming to run past, he's going to trade out. Ethan will have taken down Edwards. Cirque jumping to his demise, offering up a free kill right there. And Zeus continues his domination. Just to note, Na'Vi with this roster historically have played Mirage 55 times. They've won at 40, lost at 15, so that's a pretty good win-loss record, all things considered. This is including online and LAN matches. And in the last 3 months, they have played the map 8 times, and they have won it 6 out of those 8. It is now a 1-on-3 situation with Tank, the last man standing on the B bomb. So the bomb's down in middle. They haven't actually picked that up just yet, so maybe a bit of an oversight there. Someone's going to have to go back and grab that. But they're not in too much of a hurry, as you can tell by the slow rounds from Na'Vi. Zeus offers up his head, and Tarek is going to take that. Now it becomes a problem. This unexpected late transition. Electronic will take down Tarek, and that's it. So with those 8 games that we're talking about in the last 3 months, we have the 2 here at StarSeries Season 7 so far, both 16-4 victories over NIP and Big. They lost to Ents on it at the Major. That was a 16-14 blockbuster with that clutch, you might remember, where X7 was able to take down Simple, who was just building momentum.
Yeah, you know what? And any other player, I would have said, why would you even repeat that?
Yeah.
You get the hell to CT and play the time, and you win that round. And I'm sure Simple thought of that in reflection, but it's Simple. You have to let him go for those plays.
Exactly. There's one player in the world that you're going to let do those kind of things. Okay.
The man who just died to a USP? Yeah, that guy.
Through the smoke on the window.
Fair enough, Ethan. Smoke from Edward up close on Cat's going to make sure that they can't be spotted when they rush around toward the corner, and he gets the angle advantage. Now he'll clear out the window as well. Still smoke inside of it, so he can't see through the jungle. But Flamey's found Cirque in the meantime, and they still have control. The fact that Simple went down inside the middle means there's an AK there, but they can't get to it yet. On rotation, they might. Tarek. Peanut brain. Looking good on the form today, though, bro. Getting swole. That was a big miss. That should have, after the great shot he had at connector last round, that's unfortunate.
Just mentioning the other teams that they have lost to. So they lost to Ents, and the only other loss was to Liquid, which was 16-14 at the major as well. They beat FaZe, they beat Vitality, they beat Heroic and Avantgarde at the Ice Challenge.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah, and those were 19-16 and 16-14 victories. So the last two games that they've had have been, you know, huge scorelines, blowout scorelines here at StarSeries. So you could say that it's their best map, at least at this event. Duck's going to take a chunk of damage to the bomb exploding. He's down to 13 points of health, but he will stay alive. And now we're going to see the buy come in. Tarek's actually bought an AWP as well. So we might see the double AWP setup come out here. I'm assuming Cirque will probably do the same. And maybe they feel this is necessary because of the slower approach that Na'Vi have been throwing in here. Let's see Electronic's reaction there with all that madness going down. So yeah, it will be the double AWP. Cirque and Tarek are both able to get Kevlar behind it, but no grenades. We'll see where they want to go with it. Cirque is playing retake over towards Ticket, and Tarek is actually going to go towards Catwalk, so they're not going to have anybody watching B early. Yeah, Na'Vi are more than happy to be passive in this mid position. They're putting more of their pressure on the extremities. B-Apps is one of them. Zeus coming through underpass. It is such a pivotal position to be playing that underpass player. Maybe he just wants to be the closest to be in a bit of a link zone. Hearing information, making calls from there. Passive towards top mid, and then they did have a player towards Palace as well towards a ramp, but looks like they wanted to hit him.
Electronic backs away because of the Molotov down inside of the Bartments, as Henry would say.
You trying to bring that one in, or?
We did bring that one in. We used it for a while, and we both kind of forgot about it.
Okay.
It's the B apartments, the Bartments.
All right. Ay caramba.
It's easier to say, right?
I guess.
Ay caramba, yeah. See, it's
Think of Bart Simpson.
Yeah, Bart Simpson, yeah. Natus gets Zeus down. Edward gets Breezy. B part Zeus as well. Edward's gotten a double, and he'll transfer his AK over. Just make sure that everything stays safe in the middle of throwing the bomb. Cirque actually catches him off. Double op setup versus 3 AKs. There's an AUG in play as well for Ethan. Cirque's got Electronic down already. Simple falls next. The AUG finding the kill onto him, but Flamey's not done. He knows Ethan's behind triple. The problem is that as he goes to find him, he's got to be worried about exactly that. Tarek holding connector with the AWP, and I think he knew because he looked that direction just quickly as he peeked. But not quick enough, it seems. 10 kills for Cirque leads the way. Simple's second on 9. 4-3.
Doesn't feel like the same back and forth nature that we had in these earlier stages on Inferno. Sure, we had the USP round, but it felt blow for blow a lot more on Inferno. Where on Mirage, at least in a lot of these rounds, Na'Vi are doing a good job of trading in number advantages there. They were looking good, but it did fall apart. The AWPs being a good decision to go for the double, and we're going to see a tactical pause come out for Na'Vi. They're going to talk through their options. They're going to see what the best plan of attack is. They have been going quite slow. We've touched on that. Maybe they want to do a bit of a pace change, more of an explosive round, maybe a set piece. If there are double AWPs on the board, you could do a set play onto either bomb site, assuming they'll be playing retake. And I'm pretty positive that Ethan picked up that secondary AWP to drop again to Cirque. So we will see it once more. So yeah, if you're Na'Vi right now, maybe an option is, okay, we're versing 2 AWPs, let's go for a B execute, or let's go for an A execute. Let's kind of stay away from middle and see if we can just overwhelm the AWPer. If he gets one, we can trade him. We can close on his position. We can get some territory and go from there. And it looks like all 5 members from Na'Vi are heading over towards that side of the map. Simple's just going to throw some utility over towards middle just to hold them at bay. And that will actually keep them holding back. But Tarek, he wants to get close, and he's going to die anyway. So before the execute comes in, Electronic will take him down, and now he's going to continue the progress. Breezy, the last man of defense, is going to get destroyed through the box.
Flash goes deep. Ethan back off, smoke in the window. I think they're conceding already. They're going to have to. $1,300 left for Cirque. He's got the AWP. 50 for Daps. 0 for Ethan. No idea why I did that accent to tell you some simple facts, but Zeus will plant. It's 5 versus 3, which means I think Zeus is actually pulling a Fallen circa the Katowice Major and not planting on purpose because he knows they were backing off to save. Okay, you might want to plant now because you've made it a 3-on-3 before the bomb went down. Remember, they did that on A site holding the plant, hunting B to take 2 more guns away. I can't remember who they were playing at the time. Yeah, I'm blanking on it. But either way, it may have actually been Navi. Maybe that's why Zeus is doing it back. But that was the intent, right? They wanted to make sure they had as much time to hunt as possible before the bomb was planted. And they'll get 1 for it in the end, but they lose 2 in the process. It's not like they have a ton of money either, so I don't know that I necessarily agree with it. Don't disagree with it because they're going to win the round and they still have 3 alive.
Yeah, it could just be the cutthroat nature they want to go for here. Maybe they consider themselves to be better off when the weapons are a little bit lower. In that first map, you can make an argument that NRG actually did a better job of that. But on the CT side, it's not as applicable. Obviously, you need the utility to stop down faster plays. You need, a double op setup. You need lots of grenades. So it might just be that consideration, that if they can make sure there aren't many guns left on the board, then there's less of a threat in that regard. So Ethan and Daps will have the rifles carried on through. Breezy's going to have a deagle, flash onto Cirque. Let's see if they actually have a direct approach here, or if they just want to go for a little bit of individualism. It looks like 4 players are going towards window and connector right now, jumping out and pushing on down towards underpass will be Ethan. He's going to be met by Zeus. Zeus should check this position, but the timing of the beacon, well, Zeus will get the better of it, and that's one of the rifles already out of the round. Oh, and even getting the gun and taking it away, so a good bit of housekeeping there for the Zeus.
Very good. But it's Edward and Simple still inside of mid that make matters worse, because even if they want to challenge and try and pursue that weapon, it's going to be all for naught and all but impossible for Tarek, who is about to get confronted by Electronic. He is playing an off angle. No Zeus this time. Maybe he's given up on that. Decided it didn't really work. It shoots an Electronic beam, but it missed Electronic. And this time he'll get Electronic with the USP.
Couple more chances, a little bit more forgiving the USP than the old Zeus. So if he can hold on to this AK, that'd be good. That's a big plus for NRG moving into round number 10. So once again, the bomb had to go down, taking their time. They're making sure that they've cornered him in. Pushing up now towards the catwalk position will actually be Edward. And this is an awkward pillar to clear, but Edward has seen the barrel. He knows exactly where he is, and he's going to take him down easy as that. No problems there for Na'Vi. A pause is going to come in, and I assume this time round it'll be for NRG to talk about their options. What can we do to stem the bleeding? What can we do to start posting some rounds on the board and look competitive? They spoke about the need, or at least the desire to change players and have some roster moves because they felt like they were plateauing. Well, they've added Tarek in. He is definitely more firepower. He comes with a lot of experience. He has won a major, as the Des mentioned. Even the in-game leader of the team when they won that major.
He wasn't. That is something that a lot of people forget. Yes, he was the in-game leader of Cloud9 at the time, which was something people were doubting and debating. I mean, he became in-game leader, as most often people do, I suppose, out of necessity. The changes to remove Nothing and Shroud, Nothing in-game leading after a long career of being a fragger, that was due to the fact that Sean had already left the team. It was just a process of elimination that led to Tarek, and then boom, they win a major.
Yeah, so it's one of those situations where it's going to be on his resume forever. And the way that they did it in the fashion of that final, it's one of the unforgettable ones, that's for sure.
Oh, no question. That I will say, good exchange, fast play. They try to go to the underpass. Electronic gets dabs down. I will say, I'll never forget standing in that arena. It was captivating. I don't often have a bias, but being in the U.S., watching them as the underdogs play in that final, it was, and what a final it was incredible just to be there. Breezy.
Just curiously, though, that exchange that went on down at underpass, Zeus killed him with a deagle. I'm not sure if he actually had a rifle. I didn't see at that time. If he just ran into that round with a deagle and made that work, Zeus has been hitting some really good shots this game. Ooh.
No reason for him to run in with a deagle. He's got 6,500, but...
Oh, the timing.
Edward knows. Did he see him? He had to have. He hears him now, but he doesn't know if he should chase him because he's going to get away.
Oh, my God.
Or hold because there's a second player holding on behind him, and he looks away because he knows there's one on either side. He does it all wrong. At least keep your gun. If you're walking into a doorway, you might want to look forward.
But why is Cirque turning around?
It's a good point. I don't know why he is, but he does for whatever reason. Maybe his teammate did spot him when he went into the vent. I'd have to see the third perspective in that, the player at jungle. He may have just seen enough of him because he was coming that direction.
Well, this is simple, and it is a 1-on-3, so anything becomes possible here. We get it first.
Oh my god! The player jumps straight into a bomb planted. Simple yet again misses the shot this time. Oh! And he turns around. He turns around. Cirque, he was on the pistol. How does Simple win these? How does he do it every single time? No time on that bomb. 7 for Na'Vi.
Can we just watch Na'Vi games?
Can we just watch Simple's POV?
Oh my god.
Look, he's got a smirk. Even he's smirking now. Even he's like, all right, whatever, this is fine.
It's one of
It's all
those
fine.
games where everything just goes right. Obviously, you have to be the best player in the world to pull off some of these absolutely insane plays.
And he gets a little luck, to be fair. Cirque didn't get him with the USP. That
Yep.
was awkward. I thought he was dead absolutely there. Second player jumps out of the window straight on top of him. But he gets him. You create your own luck. If you play hockey, that's the first thing they tell you. You might get, Johnny on the spot rebound goals that are what we call garbage goals, but you create your own luck by battling for your position and being in the right spot. You have to have the awareness to do that.
Sure.
Simple always seems to find his way. Edward gets breezy. Simple got the flash assist, or so it says. Sometimes I think a flash in proximity and slightly blinded, it still gives you the credit for that. So sometimes I'm not sure I fully agree with the game saying they got the flash assist.
Yeah, I think that needs to be tweaked and adjusted, and it probably will as it goes forward.
It's a hard one to gauge, though, right? Because if they fully blind, are they not blind? Did it get him?
It's like the discussion we're having about trade kills. What constitutes a
Yeah,
trade?
exactly. Yeah, there's a timing factor there and whatnot.
And things become really finicky, especially if you start to look at economy and consider what to full buy, especially with Counter-Strike now having so many different weapons available. There should be a mop-up over here towards the A bomb site. They'll take down Ethan. It's going to leave Tarek over towards Spawn. Has found 1 in the round, but we'll have to find 4 more if he wants to make this exciting. Nobody covering CT.
How does he not finish the kill, though? Yeah, interesting no one's covering CT, and look, he didn't have a chance in the round anyway, 1-on-4, but I think he should have maybe finished that kill. It seemed like he was a little bit hustled. Maybe because he knew he would be pressured by so many other players, even if he did, but yeah, look at this. This is the one that gets me, all right, because he misses a few shots, but even still, to turn around and hit that shot is still so hard. Yeah, look at him. He laughed. All right, dude, I'm on board. Yeah, even he knows it at this point. It's like shooting bots, having fun about it. He might as well just turn on his personal stream and just, he's just having a field day.
Yeah, see what he can put it on from here from China. Maybe it's Dobu TV or one of those things. But Zeus through the underpass again. He's having a lot of success in duels, and this one players have gone aggressive. So they're going to do this very quick window boost. Ethan on catwalk. Well, I was going to say gets the better of it, but right now nothing is going in the favor of NRG. He whiffs what felt like an absolute sitter here. Electronic gets the better of the moment. And another 4-on-5 situation against NRG. We have to be questioning, what do they do? Because normally we talk about the likes of Breezy and Ethan just being beasts and going huge, going nuclear and destroying their opponents to give them avenues into these rounds, but the frags all seem to be going in the favor of Na'Vi on their map choice. 8-3, 12 rounds right now. And this one with the double AWPs that have come out once more. They need to come up clutch in that late round again. So back over towards A we'll go. We're on board with Flamey right here. We'll be entering out onto the bomb site momentarily. Breezy from this position has Cirque spotting a Rajol. Neds are coming in. He's going to miss the shot. Nothing is landing right now.
Breezy's landing up close, though. Good hold in the corner. First time they played aggressively toward the A main cave. To be fair, a lot of the action has come from mid. We haven't seen too much standard takes. This time they go for one. It still goes in the favor of Na'Vi in terms of manpower because it's just Tarek remaining. He'll give it a crack. He's got the AWP. No kit. There is one down just in front of him. He just saw it the bottom side of the scope. Electronic and Zeus. All planted. Tarek has the kit now. Tough one to go against. Hard to read the positions, both inside of the site. Electronic behind the boxes. Even with low HP, he could swing off that, and Zeus gets the kill anyway, so it's 9-3 now for Na'Vi.
This change for NRG, I'm not sure if that's the symptom of them performing poorly here or if there's something else going on with the team right now. Maybe it is just an off day because, as I mentioned, nothing seems to be landing. You have Ethan there who has the jump on both Electronic and Zeus going for that very quick window boost. Unable to convert that kill. Cirque, he did get flashed up a little bit. 1-on-3 with Simple on that B bomb site. Only a few rounds ago. His spray transfer taking away a lot of guns. It just feels like the confidence of NRG when they have the rifles in their hand just isn't there. Considering the rounds that they have won, you think that those low rounds would fill you with absolute confidence, but it's just not translating through. So right here, it's going to be a set piece on towards the A bomb site. Up close and personal is DAP. So we'll see the nades come over. Let's see what timing they decide to go with. Edward is clearing, jiggle peeking, stepping, and he gets the better of DAP. So I expect the execute to come out just after it. Nades and flashes will follow on through. Molotoving out all the close choke points.
It's not bad.
Yeah, that's quite nice.
Yeah, you're the half full guy. I'm the half empty guy. Not bad. Pretty good. Ethan, either way, gets the kill. Smokes down both positions, bottom of the stairs, top of the stairs. Big gap in it, but there's no one really there to boost off of, which you typically would do. Breezy still has flame. Once again, it's the pistols for NRG that are causing the problems for Na'Vi. As Zeus is burrowed back inside of Palace, they've not yet gone for the defuse. That slight angled wall gives the pop flash out, but he's rotated around. Why?
What are they doing?
I don't really know. Simple's not going to peek this. They're already on the defuse. They're holding it. He wants to get on it. Have they got off it? No, they're holding. They're holding. Surely they are. I'm going to say the defuse needs to be coming through, even though there was no kits. I don't know why Zeus elects to rotate around from Palace at that point in time.
I guess he feels isolated, and the fact that they have no defuse kit makes him feel like he has an extra bit of time to get back into that position. But Simple having the AWP, it's much more difficult for him to swing, right? It's much more difficult for him to get into that round. And NRG will steal away another one. You think about the rounds that they've gotten on the board so far in this game. One's been from 5 USPs. Another has been from just a pistol upgrade round where they hit some amazing deagle shots. They've had a round with the double AWP situation where they had a couple of kills in transition there. So you can see where the recipes for success in their victories have come from. And it's been through good individual prowess. It hasn't been through like tactful play. It hasn't been through, you know, like they're doing right now, going for an aggressive mistake with that smoke, pushing Na'Vi around the map. Similar themes to what we did see on Inferno. Electronic is an absolute nuisance over towards this B bomb site. He's making it very difficult for the anchor of Tariq to have an easy life. Getting harassed, one-way smokes, grenades. He's being forced to use everything he has to hold on to position. Now, Na'Vi will go for mid-control just after 1 minute on the clock. So they'll even get the better of Breezy there. Another opening kill in favor of Na'Vi. This time they're going to push on forward. I bet you any money that Electronic's going to go and play in that side. Like a moth to a flame, we see him gravitate towards the grey screen of Doom. And he makes it work. But now they have to go for an information play towards A ramp, and that's where Flamey is.
Flamey. Still going to try and get some information. Works outside of A main. Say he's going to get some information. They've actually gone very passive on that approach, so instead it'll be down toward middle. Boost up toward the window. Edward's the man to do the boosting. The boosted. That's me trying to get to global, but that's for another day. Right now it's Electronic getting inside the window. Electronic's done well with it. Unfortunately, his teammates have not, and he too has gone down. It's 3 kills unanswered so far from NRG, and with 2 seconds, no plant coming in. Time again will be the enemy of Na'Vi, and Simple went down after the time, so he's left with $200.
And once again, it looks like we're going to find ourselves in a 9-6 first half. It was one that it looked like Na'Vi were relatively in control of, especially when you take gun rounds into account. That was where they were doing phenomenal work. The clutches were going in their favor. But the low buy rounds is where NRG have been able to get the better of Na'Vi. And when you look at this situation, you can see the AWP's going toe-to-toe. Simple actually has less AWP kills in this one. So having the better there by 2. So not a huge haul from either player thus far with the big green. Cirque with a nice bit of movement there. He's going to jump on up. He's over towards Catwalk. Positioned very forward. And this smoke that is definitely in vogue right now towards top mid. Blocking off any early access. And it looks like Na'Vi, based off the default style they've been going for anyway, it doesn't seem like they want to take mid that quickly. So it is just utility used that they may have been able to hold on for free, considering the patterns for the T's so far in this matchup. Simple will only have a deagle, and I say only a deagle, but he has no armor behind it, so a lot more damage will be able to be done. The head will explode.
Zeus still trying to get an angle. has gone down. Tarek finds it first. Circuit the shot on Edward. It's a leg shot. That's good enough for Ethan. He'll take the initiative to go after it. Fortunately for Edward, he's gone far enough away not to be spotted. An electronic will come to his aid and save everything else, but Ethan turns around to find him after getting Edward. Goes down to 12 HP. Simple with a deagle. Remember, he had $200 because he died after the time with no bomb plant last round. Otherwise, he'd have a gun right now, and I would say we're on for a win. Can he do it with a deagle? The AK 4-man spray, lost only to the defuse.
Down. No way.
Smoked the 3-kill AWP. 26 seconds, you're right. Bomb is down.
He's good, but he's not a miracle worker.
I mean, I'm pretty sure he's cured cancer. Hasn't cured Ethan this round, though, and it's 9-6. You are right. This is closer than I think it should be in a lot of ways. Somehow NRG keep finding... I almost want to say NRG keep finding ways to win rounds with pistols, but then I feel like I also want to say in some sense that Na'Vi keep finding ways to lose those rounds.
Yeah, that is a definite argument to be had there, because there's been a lot of rounds, especially in that first map as well, that came down to time. That could have gone either way, and in most of those scenarios it was NRG getting the better of them, and then these low-buy rounds, you're going to go back, and if you tally this up over these two maps, they've been well and truly in the favor of the side of NRG. Now, just give everybody a quick little update on the secondary stream, where the action of Ents versus FaZe, another 2-1 game that's going on right now. Whoever wins this one will be going through to the bracket stage.
That was me saying Ents really fast. Not
Apparently,
even fast.
What is it meant to be?
Like a DJ.
Ense?
Is it really?
Apparently, that's how they say it in Finland. I'm never going to say that because it doesn't flow off the tongue as easily. So we'll stick with Ents. But the scoreline over there is currently 11-10 on the first map in favor of Ent. It is Dust 2.
All right. Well, there's one for you. Cirque. He'll work with Ethan. No pistol has been converted. Again, I say that. Flamey, he's gone back down. He finds one for Cirque to follow it, but the shot back. Tarek's got Edward. And then Electronic and Simple. Zeus with all day to fire. It is hard to hit the backside of the head with the USP, though, I will say. But all day to fire, Tarek manages the shot, and it's on to Daps. Bomb down within his grasp, but he does have to confront toward Connector. He's only got 3 kills in this game, just to note. So not his best day in the office. Glock, not the best gun to have for range such as that. He wants the USP. He'll get it. Now he can fight the 2 players that have both backed off to cover the bomb from Connector. Flash Utility's not going to do much. Pushes them off for all of about 2 seconds, and then it's Zeus to find the shot at range. It's now 10 for Na'Vi. Let's see if they can get a pistol turned into a gun round. If I'm not mistaken, did Na'Vi win the pistol in this game? Just let me check.
This isn't working right now. We're having
did they win first half pistol? Because both times it was NRG that won the pistol on Inferno and didn't convert.
Yeah, because NRG won with the 5 USPs. They were actually going to take a conservative approach for once to get guns on the board, and then they were able to win with 5 USPs.
So was that this game as well?
Yes.
So Na'Vi did win a pistol. Okay, I was going to say that was Na'Vi's first pistol. But
so both pistols.
Sorry, my memory's failed me there.
That's the top mid-smoke that Electronic has just thrown out that people are using to control that position now. You do see a Molotov thrown in front of him.
I'm surprised it took that long. I saw that in a YouTube video about a year ago, and I used to do it in matchmaking games, and it is OP. Especially matchmaking. And this, obviously, someone's going to learn ways to counter it. That's how teams work. But you can get down in mid so fast with it.
Well, it looks like they want to put pressure on Zeus towards the bomb site, who wants to go back towards that bench position. He's not even going to have to get anything done because the rest of the teammates have already rotated over, and they've mopped up the Glocks. Flamey, the only player dropping there, and it's not too bad. He'll be able to buy in with a rifle right here, and we get stuck into the first gun round of the game. Now, just to note, Na'Vi have recently been adding in a few different ways to bolster their defenses over to where Zeus is normally concerned, right? They might put the AWP player of Simple over there early, so it's like, oh, okay, if Simple's going to be here early, we won't be able to lean on this side, we won't be able to bully them. Because that has been a very common plan for teams in recent history against Na'Vi to try and isolate Zeus. Now, it is going to be a fast mid-play. Simple has the AWP. He has to go huge here. Oh, the smoke missed.
Yes, it did. And that means he's down to 8 HP only with the AWP inside Connector. A nade would take him out of it completely. That's a bit unfortunate, actually, if I'm honest with you. Simple is going to back away as a result of it, and Daps falls to Electronic. So 4 on 4. Electronic. Back around. Breezy's gotten Zeus, who got aggressive on Catwalk. You're shaking your head.
Yeah, interesting info play there, considering they knew the pit was completely given up. But Electronic's going to make up for the most of it. He's going to get 2 kills back, and now we have a 2-on-2 situation. Simple is on 8 HP to note, but he does have the 8 HP, so that's kind of taken out of the equation. Flamey's done a lot of damage here as well, and he's going to get the first, almost the spray transfer onto the second, and knows he's trapped in connector. Simple and Flamey have him pinned.
Tarek, time to shine. 2 kills in this round. Shadow shows. All too easy to collect on Flamey. And guess who's left? Simple. That 8 HP. That damage he took early on starts to matter less when he's in a one-on-one with an AWP. He's missed his chance to catch out on Tarek, who actually did plant behind the triple. Simple's got nothing to work with in terms of information as a result of that. Tarek's even shifted back over towards CT. This should be his round all day long.
Very well played here by Tarek. Good movement, good awareness that the AWP could be posted up on the cat. And now Simple isn't quite sure as where he's moved. Looks like he will just be holding onto this AWP. It's not often you see Simple bow on down in these situations, but no kit, almost no hope, and he will hold on to the AWP to fight another day.
And the reason to hold the op, he's got 250. Everyone else is around 2K. They're going to get, this will be 1,400. This will be their first loss. So yeah, they're not going to get a lot. But an op for him, certainly capable of doing very, very dark and dangerous things. Evil things. And if they can just get some deagles and armor, they might be able to join him in that.
Yeah, I think especially when your star player of Simple has the AWP out, you may as well force buy behind it, because if they can just delay some areas, give some information to him so he can move around with the AWP to keep things relatively competitive, you know that he's probably going to be good for at least 2 kills. And you look at the buys between both these teams, it's difficult to say who actually has the better of this situation. It's a MAC 10 and a Tech 9 are some of the emissions right now for NRG. Be a set A piece here. Electronic from under the balcony position. He's going to have to go absolutely huge here. He's going to light up the first, but now they know where he is. They're going to swarm him down, and Breezy will eventually trade that out. No one else is in position to strike with the smokes, and Na'Vi are going to have to hold and wait for the retake here. Note that they were unable to buy a defuse kit.
Simple's waiting well back. He's had to push all the way off it. You're right, they weren't able to buy a diffuser. But still, they have the man advantage. MAC 10s and Tech 9s, even after a win for NRG. This is really chomping at the bit. Simple's got Cirque. I think this is 12-7, and we don't often talk about resets, or we haven't talked about them as much with the new meta, but this is one because there's not a lot of money left over, and we're back down to a first-round bonus. So, Simple confirms with the defuse and keeps that off once more.
17 kills to his name right now. And the scoreline currently 12-7 in favor of Na'Vi. We move into
That's actually shocking that it's only 17.
Yeah, I'd love to have a look. Maybe we'll have to go to HLTV.org to check out all the stats right now. Because
20 for Electronics actually better than Simple? I guess it's just the fashion that Simple's got them in. I feel like he should have like 40 kills right now.
Yeah, he's had a lot of multi-kill rounds, right? Felt like especially that clutch round, the impact has been felt. NRG just going to upgrade into a couple of pistols, a little bit of Kevlar behind it. They're going for nothing too crazy over towards middle. That smoke once again holding them at bay. So when the smoke lands, it buys them, unless they have a counter, and we did see Renegade try and come up with a counter. I think it was against Astralis actually at the major for this smoke. They were, you know, putting out the Molotov that was being thrown and flashing through, because you are still kind of caught in limbo. And if you smoke off window as a T yourself, you kind of equal up that duel a little bit. Still a dicey one, still a risky one, but definitely a response indeed. They're posturing back over towards the B-bomb site now. 4 players are up in the B-horn. 3 players, sorry, with the bomb, and 1 in T-spawn, 1 over towards A ramp. The utility is with Daps. And it looks like the call is actually to go back towards A. So all over the shop in the early stages of this round, just making sure that Na'Vi can't get too aggressive. They have to be kept honest holding back. They have 2 players in connector, 2 in the B side, and Electronic over here covering off from Ticket, doing a fantastic job as an anchor time and time again. Let's see how much impact he can have now as the smoke's going to let him inside. Simple with a second in the round.
Simple with another shot toward top. The Stairs knew that they were going to drop off. Goes to the pistol, finds Cirque even with a headshot at that range, and then Edward does the rest. 3 to go for Na'Vi to wrap up this series, to survive until tomorrow, Judgment Day, and send NRG on their way
This is a 2-1 match.
This is a 2-1 match.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
sorry. I'm sorry. I
through.
confused myself. Yeah, Na'Vi goes through, and then they don't play tomorrow, and they're off until Friday. My bad.
Yeah, let me just check on who these teams have beaten, just so that we can make sure we're giving everybody the correct information at home. So Na'Vi beaten the likes of NIP in a 2-1 game. They beat Big 2-0.
That's right. Yeah, that did.
They lost to Vici 2-1.
They barely won an NIP game. Map 2 went to overtime, and then they won at Map 3. They almost lost out 0-2.
So, like, they've warmed into this, right? Na'Vi have definitely gotten better
that
as the games have
seems normal
gone.
for them. They always struggle early in the stages, don't they?
They normally like lose an opening game. That's very common for them. And if you look at the side of things for NRG to this moment, they beat North with that 16-0 on Train, the third map in that series to kick things off. They lost to Fnatic 2-0. And they actually beat MIBR yesterday 2-0. So whoever drops down, there's quite the pool of teams to have to deal with in the 2-2 matchups. Obviously bigger down there. You're going to have the loser of this FaZe versus Ents game, which is still currently going on. We know North are through to that position. NIP are in with a shot. And Spirit, who had Some Die Young, having an absolute banger of a performance today. And I Disbalance, I believe it is, an AWP player from the CIS region, who has been turning some heads at least this time round. So NRG are going to have a rough time if they're unable to get back into this series tomorrow, that's for sure. Smokes made to come over to the A bomb side again, but it is a fake. It's all a ruse, as there's 30 seconds left on the clock, and they actually want to put the bomb through middle. So this is a risk right here. A big risk.
Word does take down Daps immediately. He's gone. Tarek with 2. Flamey, his first victim, Edward being the second, and that gives the advantage to NRG momentarily. Simple's being smart about this. He doesn't want to go through the vent, doesn't want to overcommit.
It hasn't been a plan.
There's no one allowed. You're right, they've taken a while, but there's no one around to stop it. He was actually visible from Connector.
Very
Would have been
close.
incredible if Zeus just popped out and was like, just kidding.
Well, they didn't have anyone clearing off towards CT spawn, so that was a bit of a concern as well. That's why they were trying to plant in the open position. So they will get it down, and I think that Na'Vi realized the lead that they have. They don't have to go for this one. There's no real need. They do have a kit on electronic. Maybe that will be the key to get going, but the other two have dropped off towards kitchen. So Zeus is just trying to take guns away from them at this point. That was very dicey. I'm surprised that they took the bomb through middle that late. Like, that is the choke point of where everybody's going to be rotating through to stop the A bomb site, right? It was Tarek, the real player, coming up big in that round with the 2 kills in transition that allowed them even to get onto the bomb site. So good stuff from Tarek here. He's sitting at 17 kills, so 17 of his own, 13 for Ethan and 12 for Breezy. The last 2 names we said are normally the ones towards the top of the scoreboard for the NRG roster. Kept a little bit quiet this time round and kept absolutely silent has been Daps on 4 kills. His counterpart of Zeus sitting on 14, the lowest fragger for Na'Vi. Then we go 15 for Edward, 16 for Flamey. Simple and Electronic, both on 20 kills. It feels like if Na'Vi win this round, Matt, that's where the, obviously not the reset situation, but at least the hopes and dreams of NRG are going to be crushed and probably taken out of this. So it's going to be a quick A play coming out through Palace. This is going to happen any second now. Smokes and flashes over the top, and here we go.
First, second. Cirque gets third. Electronic has the only kill in return on it. Steal home played away, though, because Bomb's down yet again. They want their 9th round, and I don't think Zeus and Flamey are really up to it. They both have kits. They've got good utility, but
it's a long way back in.
It's a long way back in. Edward only has $50. They're each in the 3 digits.
Flamey's about to die.
Maybe not. I think he still is. His back is exposed.
I don't think he's expecting Ethan to be.
Okay then, Ethan. You just missed an incredible chance, because here's my point. Zeus, Flamey, as I mentioned, have 3 digits. Simple's got $3 grand. Electronic's got 2,300. They save these 2 guns, they've got to buy. They lose one of the 2 guns, they're roping together a force. So that's actually significant.
Oh, Flamey. Flamey, no! He's melted.
That's not ideal. So now we're back to what I said. They're on a force.
Felt like he had done enough by surviving that looked like an absolute car wreck over towards the B-Apps. He was able to swing onto Ethan and left on low HP. The Molotov, just enough time to tick down, burn him out of the server. And they will go for just a bit of a partial upgrade. Zeus does have that AK. Simple has a scout. And this one looks like it's going to be a relatively quick B play right now. You can see what Cirque is doing. He's lining up a jump smoke to go over towards the pillars, and a 3-man B stack is coming out. So this could be very problematic for NRG, who are committed to this. They want to go here, and Talik's going to lead the way. He's jumped out the window, flashes and nades coming over, the pillar smokes to follow, and now they're on the side. They have to find these kills. Electronic will get the opening, almost gets a second. Edward will actually mop up his mess, and now the battle back. Look at this, everything's going right for Na'Vi.
The trades are everywhere. Daps, he's got one on the board now. He's been slow in this game, but if he wins this against Simple, all might be forgiven because they'll find 10 rounds, and Simple's just on the scout. 10 rounds against 13 for Na'Vi, stalling them out as well. It would be significant. Bomb down inside of the site. Daps is going back around the long way. Minute to work with. He's trying to use time in his favor, but maybe just get to the bomb at this point in time. Maybe just, for lack of a better term right now, keep it simple, but that's what he's trying not to do. He's trying to stay away from that man.
At a certain point, Simple will have to start doubting that he is even over towards the B-bomb side and consider a flank. So his position will probably be relocated. He has like a mental timer going on at this point. And as we can see now, Daps, he doesn't think that Simple will be close in this position, and he still has his back turned. So Daps may have absolutely booked him here. He's going to run around. Simple has his back turned. And this Daps will just tap away from range. And the big brain play has saved NRG as they go up to 10 rounds.
It worked.
I wonder if that's enough to get them back in the game here, because the last 2 rounds have been not clean, but they've been organized. They've had the guns working. They've been able to get a bit of cohesion as a unit. They've been trading off one another. This is where the real task for Na'Vi begins. I spoke about their resume on Mirage this year. They were sitting at 6 wins out of their last 8 games. The last 2 being 16-4 victories in this tournament alone. So it has been a good map for them. NRG putting in more of a fight than what Big and NIP were able to do in previous Swiss rounds. But they have to if they want to stay in this matchup. Once again, winner goes down to the winner goes up to the bracket play, which starts on Friday. We do have Thursday off.
Yeah.
Loser goes down to play in the 2-2 game.
That's right. And we do quarterfinals all on Friday.
Mm-hmm.
Semis on Saturday. I get semis every day. Semis on Saturday and the finals on Sunday. Best of 5.
Nice big juicy one there. This format here that Starladder put on, there are a lot of games of Counter-Strike, but it truly tests teams' map pools, its endurance. You get to see where players are at, you get to see where teams are at map pool-wise, you get to see how prepared strategy-wise they are, so a lot of learning goes on here. Cirque is going to go for a very aggressive play with the AWP up here. If Zeus jumps, might get his head taken off, but he will throw a nade. He will throw a smoke to hold the bay, and meanwhile Edward in middle is a little bit troublesome. He's taken down Daps, but Breezy will deal with him without losing any HP, so no problems there. It is a 4-on-4. This is where Simple has to come into play, and we can see him in connected with the AWP. He was looking towards Breezy's position, but understands that there are other avenues where he can be attacked from. You can tell that Zeus has definitely been putting in a lot of work towards the way that he holds his site, because every time I watch, he has a new smoke, a new flash. He understands
so many lineups in this map.
Yeah, he understands that his individual ability is not there, so he needs to supplement it. Simple, well, supplementing this B defense with the AWP. There he is.
Yeah, he's going to get inside of the site with that as well. Oh, slows down one, knows the lineup perfectly to the window. Breezy's got Zeus, but Simple on the site with an off. That's good enough. Up close, hits it. He's given Electronic and Flamey all they need to work with, but Ethan's got other ideas. Bomb picked back up in his hands. Electronic might have outdone him here, though. Around toward the Bartmans, high above. Surely he's going to consider it, though, Ethan. He's checked everywhere else. He could actually just book it straight through checker, and Electronic's aware of that possibility, so watches the...
The timing!
Ooh, Ethan. His round to lose now.
Oh my god, the big brain plays from NRG. 2 rounds in a row here. The back-to-back flurry of trades on this B bomb site. And then the avenue through A. Electronic is going to be like, how did this happen? Is he a magician? And now we have the split screen up so you can see how both players want to traverse this round. Ethan is going for even more of the mind games. He's planted on A. He's going through T-spawn. He wants to come late through middle here. And he might actually catch Electronic off, not looking in his direction at all. Will Electronic hear the footsteps? It's going to be momentarily... He can see him. He's got another kill in the back.
He's got it. Ethan's got 3 to close out the round. What a play. Same as Daps. Used it to his advantage. Knew that the rotation didn't come in. Knew that he had time to do so because there was nowhere near. He went the exact direction through CT that he would have been followed. That would have led to a confrontation. NRG's using brain over brawn. We've seen Simple use a lot of brawn in this game. 23 kills, he now ties Electronic. But it's 13-11, and that is, correct me if I'm wrong, 4 in a row. Okay, so that's significant because Na'Vi trying to close out this series might not get the chance to do so.
They're going to get max loss bonus after this one if they're unable to get anything done here, so at least that's one thing that they can take as a positive. But now NRG feel like they've warmed into the match at least, because instead of just winning pistol buys and low rounds, sure, it's had to be done through clutches. Before that, they had a nice little execute explosion onto the A-bomb site. They're starting to win some more important, more cohesive gun rounds, and with this in mind, there is a definite chance to take this 1-3. I think when we both sat down today, we looked at each other and thought this is going to be a long one. This is going to be a back and forth affair of individuals going toe-to-toe. Well, individuals have definitely been going huge, but maybe not necessarily in the same way that we were expecting it. NRG have gone out on their little field trip. They've looked across the map for any aggression from the CTs, and now they're going to head on.
Did they get parental consent?
I think Cirque still needs to get it signed by his mum, but I've faked his signatures, so it should be all right. Now it's going to be an execute on towards the A-bomb site. There's actually 4 players from Na'Vi waiting over here, and Simple's not too far away on rotation.
Not at all. When he gets one, that's Tarek that went down. We can see him dying on entry, but it still looks good for NRG. It's all on Simple with a deagle. Of course he'll find one. Or does he give himself up inside of the smoke? Simple. No gun to pick up. Wants to get aggressive. This could happen. Simple could do this. Needed that headshot to make it sure, but Cirque wins it instead. And we've got 1 round between the two.
Clawing back into this one. An uphill battle that is now leveling on out, starting to plateau, just like NRG thought their roster was. So if they can get a map off here from Na'Vi, I mentioned in 2018 these teams went head-to-head, once in the grand final of StarSeries Season 5, where Na'Vi won it in 2-0 fashion. And then DreamHack Masters in Stockholm, which was the later of these 2 events. NRG were actually able to take a map off them, which was Inferno. It was the opening map of this series, and that did go in favor of Na'Vi, who were looking quite nice. Everybody was contributing as a team. I still feel that we're doing similar scenes over here on Mirage, the lowest fragger being Zeus 14, the top being Simple on 24, and between that the spread of Electronic, Flamey, and Edward is relatively close, all things considered. And the same can be said right now for NRG. Everybody's kind of pulled up their socks. It was just Cirque and Tarek close to that 20-digit mark, but now Breezy and Ethan in the last few rounds have really come alive. Daps winning the clutch was also very important against Simple in the 1v1, so finding impact across the board here on this T side as the pause will come to an end. We're getting freeze time ticking on down, and here we go. I think this one could be for all the marbles.
Simple finds it. Cirque tried to work with the utility to get the position, but Simple was too quick. He goes back inside of the site. He'll rotate, try and be dynamic. I imagine that op could even find its way all the way over toward the A side of the map. For now, Zeus is going to get more aggressive on the window. This is a common position. Inside of it, Simple baits. He's there to support, and both of them can fall off the position quickly. Shoulder show. Simple missed the shot against Tarek. Looked like he might have had the lineup, in fact. Zeus has left the window. He's going to chase it.
Good
aggressive. Play. Knows they've backed off, too, so if they want, Simple can rotate off this. Once he confirms this courtyard's clear, Simple's out of there.
The problem is window is a bit of an issue right now, and it looks like that NRG, as we can see, are boosting up to clear it. If they boost it on to get in, then they might give themselves a free avenue to aggress onto this A bomb site, but they're being very thorough in their clearance, and Edward might get timed here. But Zeus's push, as we can see on the right-hand side of the screen, he continues to go forward. Edward gets the better of Ethan, and 3v5 with all the info in the world. This one should be pretty easy right now as they continue to push towards Edward.
Poor timing. Ethan's going to be upset with that. They did so well to clear. You can see them calculating the way they walk to make sure every angle was covered, and Steely got caught with his back turned. Flamey closes out the round. 2 to go now for Na'Vi. Finally, after 5 rounds in a row, they get 1 back. So we would talk. This is exactly the comeback scenario I was talking about. We would say this is the reset potential. This is when you can break down Na'Vi. CT side, you get round 13 doing so. You've got a tie game, and you're still in control. Now it's a little different. If they lose this round, all that happens is they go back, well, I shouldn't say all that happens, it's still significant, but they go back to 2,900 on investment instead of all the way back down to 1,400.
And if you consider the fact that if they do a fast play onto a bomb site, and let's say they take down 2 players very quickly, what we saw in Inferno was teams just going for saves. So Na'Vi not only will get, you know, a buff in the next little loss because of the economy, they'll also most likely hold on to their guns. Whereas for NRG, it means the world to them to have a clean round to hold on to whatever they invest in and pick up as many rifles as they can. So they're going for it. They're going for the fight. You can see that here. They have 2 AKs, some upgraded pistols, not a lot of utility to work with, so they're going to rely on the individuals. Just a quick check-in on that secondary stream right now. FaZe versus Ents, another 2-1 game. It's in overtime right now. FaZe had to battle back in with a string of 3 rounds to take it that far. So that one going over there is a bit of an affair back and forth. Nico leading the way on 31 kills. You can probably choose both if you're rocking multiple monitors, but stay with us here because this one is equally as exciting. 2 fantastic matches to close out the evening. Simple posted up on Catwalk with the AWP.
Same spot that he found the opening pick from last time. This time it's more significant because they're looking for map points and same results, make it a double as he finds Breezy as well. Daps gets Edward. He couldn't retreat and Simple can't find the shot to go along with it, but Electronic steps out. He's in the window, he's nearby, they're all working in tandem toward middle. Flamey has smokes down in front of him, wants to try and catch them on the cross, couldn't quite do so. Back, Cirque rushing in with the Tech 9, but a nade comes through and it's all onto Cirque. He's picked up the AK from spawn after that kill, but they know exactly where he is as a result of it. So smokes down, flashes in, Simple through the smoke with an op, of course. And it's map point Na'Vi. And this will only be $1,900 for NRG, and they don't have a lot of money.
Yikes.
1,900 or 24? Yeah, it's 1,900.
Yeah. So now it's like a team who is on the comeback, exactly like you were talking about, doing the hard work, winning the gritty rounds, get punished, right? And here we can see the round timeline on your screens right here. You can see those last 3 rounds in a row that NRG actually put together. This is a fantastic tool to display it for you. The yellow dots, having only 2 players survive in round 25 and then having 1 player survive in round 24 and 23. That's what's led them to this position where moving into round 27 after losing, they didn't have a very big bank to buy on in because they were clutch rounds, they were those tight rounds. And they're getting punished for actually coming out on top of clutches. It's something unusual in Counter-Strike.
Yeah, well, the problem is now, more time to make amends with it. Cirque will get one against Edward, who got aggressive that time in middle. Not Simple posted Cat. He did it 2 rounds in a row. He won't do it again. He's gone down. Breezy, spectacular shot on the deal, and Ethan follows it. The Deagles, all the kills. Cirque, Breezy, Ethan, they combine for 19 HP. They now combine for 14 HP because one of them's gone. Breezy's been taken out. But still they have the 2-man advantage. Flaming edge of the smoke does get Daps back. It's getting worse and worse with every kill against them because now it's low HP for 2 as Daps was high. But the bomb has gone back over toward B. And Tarek is so far forward inside of checkers. They'll get some information. Zeus needs to clear this. I don't know the full I was going to say I don't know that he will, but he does. He's having a great series.
Tarek is the man in this round. He's the one with the HP. He only has the CZ75, and they're not even coming in his direction. So now all the pressure is actually going to be applied on Cirque, who has the AUG in the bomb site.
Do they expect that Tarek's inside checker, though? Is he not behind the van? Is he not up on the barman? Cirque actually gets Flamey. Zeus has it all to do, and he's dinked. Down to 7-1, not far. He is going to save. There was a kit there, but he's gotten the op and he's gotten out, so NRG's not giving up easily. Deagles just started off.
Once again, NRG getting done with absolutely nothing. You consider what they scrape together. They smash open the piggy bank and they see what falls out. A little bit of lint, a couple of pistols, and they're still able to make a very, very convincing round of it by posting now 13 on the board, and they can take this one into overtime. We might have both games on simultaneous streams going to those bonus rounds. But Zeus may have once again facilitated Simple to lead this team to victory. The AWP in his hands, and he has a lot of money in the bank so that he's going to be able to buy into a gun next round as well. So even if they lose this, the key figure, the queen on Zeus's chessboard of Na'Vi, will be able to stay dangerous in back-to-back rounds here. NRG don't want to get stuck into this one too quickly. They are playing safe. They had 2 players over towards Palace to make sure that Ethan couldn't be pushed solo, and Tarek could have traded if that was to be the case. They are passive over towards middle. Not too much action across the map here as everyone is right back. A couple of warning shots fired in from Daps to say, hey, look, I am here. You can't push this for free. And now the mid-control smokes will start to come in. Pressure will be applied to Sybil and Edward momentarily.
Not too soon, though. NRG. Controlled take toward middle. Back for the bomb. No one was there, and they don't want to commit to it, so they've got other ideas. Might be an A execution for the... I shouldn't say first time in a while. They did one about 2 rounds ago, but still, haven't seen many of them this game.
Not set pieces, that's for sure, and they have enough smokes here to smoke off towards CT. They can do the wall smokes, they can do the deep connector smoke, they can Molotov over towards jungle or under the balcony. So let's see how they want to get this one done. They put pressure on themselves here, Matt. There's only 25 seconds left, and they've decided to go.
Well, they've got to get kills then. Flamey's not going to allow it. A lot of bullets used, a lot of health lost. That gives Ethan the chance to trade it. Simple still waiting to watch if anyone will walk out from Palace, and they will now. Tarek, he's gone down immediately, and it's a 4-on-2. This series might be done, but bomb gets planted nonetheless as Daps holds off towards CT. Doesn't want to cross over. Can't give himself up toward connector or the electrical stairs, so he has to hold inside of the site. Precarious position, multiple angles, but he's now cleared the fact that no one's watching from connector, and he might be able to get forward on this. Navi's got to go. They found Breezy. Daps should be next in line. He's got electronic. They know he's towards CT. And Zeus hits the shot to close it off, to close out a great series for him and for Navi. 2-0. They move on to Friday. They move on to the quarterfinals.
What an absolutely entertaining series of Counter-Strike. We had so many 1vx situations. We had so many clutches. We had Simple putting on an absolute display with the AWP, the AK-47, the Deagle, every single weapon that you can possibly think of. Contributions from every single Navi member in crucial moments. And I think that NRG eventually got their legs under them, especially in the middle sections of this second half. So
and Kane didn't rage out and leave.
Maybe they handcuffed him to the chairs so he couldn't walk away this time. But all in all, Navi have done it in a 2-0 fashion, which is all you can ask yourselves. It doesn't really matter how close the games get as long as you make it to that playoff stage. And this is where they get more dangerous. This is where the experience really comes out to shine. And if we can continue to see plays like that from Simple, I love it.
I'm still impressed with that 1-on-4. The fact that he didn't get the defuse is like expected given the situation, but also like really unlucky considering how well it went for him.
Yeah.
Spray transfer on the third was just stupendous, and then like
milliseconds.
I don't know how many ticks that was. I'm not going to pretend like I can count ticks in my head, but it was close.
Minute. But I don't know what we think the biggest play was. Let's see what the Desk thinks what the biggest play was. Trace, take it away.
Thank you very much, Mr. Birchill. Yes, indeed. That was quite the showing. Got a little hairy there towards the end, but Navi were able to close it out. My Banditos and I will begin to make some sense of that in Pimp and Maniac. Guys, what a series we have on our hands, not to mention the series going on the other stream of Ints and FaZe. Just a lot of Counter-Strike to dissect here.
I think this was a great game of Counter-Strike.
Yeah.
I think we got to see the very best of Simple once again. We often praise him for being the best in the world, and I think this was a great showcasing of why we do that. Often people say that he gets a lot of easy frags, he gets a lot of entry frags. This game, it was all about impact, all about having a big impact on the game, and I think he was playing, this simple game of Counter-Strike the way he does it the best.
Oh, definitely. He had such a big impact on the T side specifically. And Navi didn't really show us anything crazy in the way they were doing it, but it's every round is similar but at the same time different, and then Simple shows up.
Sure.
And that X Factor turns into like a 9-6 T half. It's actually a very good first half from Navi. And then it really felt like they had done the most difficult part of it. The clutches came in handy.
Yeah.
These 1v1s from NRG they were sexy. Let's use that word.
A lot of the 1v1s in this spray right here, I mean, that was
insane.
Down to the wire in that one. But yeah, what you're talking about with the 1v1 situations and the timing and how it was played out on the side of NRG, did favor them a few times, but it's just not enough to get them past the finish line.
No, and I think you got to give credit to NRG for playing a good game as well. I think they were able to pressure Na'Vi on a map that we praised Na'Vi for being very good on. I think Mirage is potentially their strongest map, so the fact that they were able to almost Zeus them and tease them a little bit is huge credit to NRG. I think that they lost to a better team today, but I think considering that they're still in the pool now and have to play tomorrow, I think NRG is one of the few teams you don't want to face in this 2-2 matchup.
My God, Maniac, what's your take on this? Is this a rock-solid Na'Vi here? I mean, we can see the smile on Simple's face there, but they've got to be just a little shaken with how close these games are getting.
Well, on the side of Na'Vi, I think Chad said it well on the casting desk. Now things get terrifying for the opponents, right? Because this is your usual Na'Vi routine. In group stage, they never look pristine. There's always a little bit scrappy, but somehow they make it out of it, and then they are even more dangerous in the playoff. I think Na'Vi did what they had to do. They qualify. Of course, Simple was a big part of why they qualified.
Yeah.
But I think we've seen great things from Edward. We've seen great interest from Zeus. Electronic was, we didn't really talk about him much, but he did his job or even more. And on the side of NRG, I think another silver lining, as Jacob said, is the fact that Cirque also put up a fight. He's definitely having a good tournament, something we haven't seen in a while. And they're going to need him if they want to make it to the playoff. They still have a chance. They're by no means eliminated right now.
I'm glad you brought it up. I'm glad you brought up the fact that all the Na'Vi players had a lot of impact, because I think it speaks into what I said before, that NRG also played a great game of Counter-Strike. This was not all about Simple. It was not all about Electronic. This was about a team effort from Na'Vi, where obviously Simple was the star of this whole circus, but Zeus stepped up, Edward stepped up once again, and Na'Vi is, as you said, they're looking terrifying, and I think teams should be very aware that this is a team that could potentially go all the way at this very tournament.
Yeah, and they're going to need to kick it in gear a little bit further, as now they're in the bracket stage. They've made it through the playoffs. That does go a long way. But the numbers, well, the numbers sometimes speak for themselves. I guess throughout the duration of this best of 3, the thing that's really sticking out to me here is NRG having one player with a sort of positive KD, but they were able to make this just close,
well,
at least in the last map.
I mean, the thing about the clutches, we bring it up because, first of all, they were fun to watch. Like, a lot of going around the map and like mind play and stuff. I really appreciate that. But it might have just a little bit skewed the course of the map, right? Can you imagine if Na'Vi wins this 1v1 and don't have to then go on an eco or false buy? They might have closed it earlier, but let's not take anything away from NRG. It is a very good thing that they have players all across the board that can play this 1v1, because that's going to happen tomorrow again. And if you can outsmart Simple in a 1v1, or if you can outmove Electronic in a 1v1, then you can probably do that against other players.
Timing, timing, timing. That is what we saw over and over again in these 1v1s. And yeah, again, props over to the NRG side. But today is just not your day. You're going to have another shot. They do move to a 2-2 record, which ultimately puts them backs against the wall. You either qualify at this point or you're going home.
Yeah, simple as it is, Trace. I think NRG is a team that is prone to be at the playoff. I think no matter who they face in that 2-2 matchup, unless it's going to be FaZe or ENCE, who's currently playing in their 2-1 game, they're going to be the favorites. So NRG, a team after this game, I still have high hopes in them. I still think it's a team that can make the playoff, and I have, confidence in saying that they're playing well, and they're still learning with Tarek as well, being this new member of the team. That said, though, from going, as a team that can play up against Na'Vi to actually win against them, it's a long journey, right?
Yeah, and one man that has been on the longest journey, of course, here with this Natus Vincere lineup, would be Flamey. And we do have Frankie standing down on the sidelines to hear what he's got to say.
I am joined by Flamey for the final interview of the night, and I want to talk to you first about your first map, Inferno. It seemed like, to me, the only rounds you were actually losing were when NRG were running pistols. Why was that?
I don't know, but they played good on that rounds, and we didn't manage a good setup. So City against pistols, we should review the demo and play better next time. But yeah, we played good City side.
There was a moment in the second half as well. I think you were by Fountain. You planted the bomb, and for some reason you decided to chase Daps and NRG down rather than holding that site. Who made that decision?
To be honest, I don't remember, so I won't say.
That's absolutely fine, Flamey. In fact, actually on Inferno, we were talking about it earlier as well. I was really curious about that Simple and Zeus dynamic. How did you find that in game?
What do you mean they?
The Zeus supporting Simple.
It's just Simple asking for some support, and Zeus is doing this. So it's not some special setups. It was when the games went live. So we just I don't know.
It's absolutely fine. And let's talk about Mirage then. Again, you guys, a strong start. I was expecting that match actually to be over a lot quicker than it was. What happened in your second half for NRG to catch up with you?
Yeah, we were leading quite like 13-8 or stuff like that. Then they just took some rounds and we did some mistakes. They won all clutch rounds, but in the end we just won, and that's nice.
What do you put those mistakes down to, Flamey? Because you did mention in an interview with HLTV earlier this week about some communication issues with the team.
I think it was more like stress for us because we know that the game is always almost end, so you should play much more better in situations like this. So I don't know why we did these mistakes, but we need to look into it and fix it for the next games.
So like all the other teams here, really, when you're about to win, you get a bit more nervous.
Yeah, that's definitely, because when you're winning, you start nervous a bit, and of course when you're losing as well. But you don't feel so much pressure. Maybe just playing what you want, and so.
And you guys won StarSeries 5. You didn't actually attend StarSeries 6, and a team called ENCE won. Don't know if you've heard of them, Flamey. So if it is an ENCE Na'Vi final, who's going to win StarSeries 7?
If not us or ENCE.
Well, if it was a final between you and ENCE, who is going to win?
The better team.
Who's the better team, do you think, Flamey?
We will see if it will be ENCE or Na'Vi. I won't say that we are a better team now or ENCE better team. We need to play against each other to see.
Okay, I like that answer. Very diplomatic. Thank you so much, Flamey. Let's head back to the desk.
The humble, eternal flame of Flamey right there is a true testament to a man just trying to get it done. Just a guy trying to get the job done. His statistics will speak for themselves. But what do we have to say about Flamey, guys?
I mean, so far in this tournament, I guess he hasn't really been up to pair with what we saw at the Major. He was by far the third best playing player for Na'Vi, being that, second string to play off of Electronic and Simple. That said, we have Edward coming into this tournament, so I don't think he's needed in the same way. I don't think necessarily there's any frags for him. So I think he's doing his job fine, but still, if they want to win the tournament, it would be nice for Flamey to play just a tiny bit better.
They're going to need that. I think Flamey is a little bit frustrating in the sense of he's so good when he's on.
Sure.
Yeah.
He's one of the best, I would say, not really anchor, but like fixated CT, good for 2 or 3 frags every time they come to him. With the rifle, so good. And then he's a little bit hit and miss. As we say, sometimes he's here, sometimes not. This time Edward is stepping up. That's really good for Na'Vi. That's Jacob is pointing out. If they want to make a deep run, they're going to need Flamey at some point.
Yeah, and we talk a little bit about, inconsistencies and the things that happen here with Na'Vi, and it seems as though player X can show up, but player Y maybe halfway shows up, and then 3 others just don't. What happens if all 5 of these guys come alive?
Then we have a team that potentially could be the best team in the World Race, and I think that's what's so intriguing about this lineup. We talked about it so much, but all these internal problems, just to mention it one more time, could they just fix those, and focus fully on the game? I think there's potential for this lineup and these players to showcase some of the best Counter-Strike you can within the world. Obviously, telling them to beat Astralis, that's going to be a tough task, but at least being the second best team in the world, I think that's within reach for guys like Electronic, Simple, and Flamey for that matter.
Yeah, and I mean, it seems that simple. But it's never going to be that simple when all you have to do is head over to cs.money and go ahead and get yourself some sweet skins. That's right, you can do it in just 1, 2, 3 clicks. And that is my sellout for the day. Your turn, Jacob.
What do you want me to say, man?
I don't know, pick one.
I mean, we got a GG bet. That's a pretty cool site. I mean, you can always go in there and hit up your bets. If I were you, I would bet against North tomorrow, but that's just a personal opinion. But just kidding. I mean, it's always good for the bets. Always good to win a little bit of extra cash, and you could all need, a little bit extra cash.
Yeah, everybody likes a little extra cash, right, Maniac?
Yeah, absolutely. And if you like cash, maybe you like skins, right? And if you do, there's Hellcase multi-case even though. And if you want new skin, what you can do is you can head over to Hellcase and you can use the SLTV code. That is for extra money on your account, and you can use SLTV25. That is for a 25% bonus refill only at Hellcase.com.
Trace, have you ever been on Hellcase?
No, I have not.
Okay.
But nothing, to deter from them. I'm just not big into the whole, skins and gambling. I have the skins that I want. I've been trying to get the Fade collection going, but I have
Fade
the
one.
skins that I
Okay.
like. The only skins that I want to talk about is the thick skins of the teams that need to hold on to try to find those final playoff berths. And that means that the matchups tomorrow, well, that's got to be our discussion. We could talk about the teams that have already made it through, Fnatic, Renegades, Natus, Vincere now, and Vitality, but there are certainly some teams here still in the contention. NRG being one of those, finding themselves at 2-2. They'll be joining North Big and Team Spirit. And then you've got Ents and FaZe Clan currently battling it out. We might as well give you a little bit of a quick B-Stream update while I'm on my feet. Round 41 on Dust 2. It is currently 21-19 for FaZe. So,
All right, then.
if you want to check that one out, that's over on the other stream. This has been round 4 of the Swiss system. It's about to conclude. I guess while we're here, we might as well just ask you guys who's going to win that one overall.
Between Ents and FaZe?
Yeah.
I'm going to take a risk and say FaZe might surprise us.
Okay.
Just because I want to see Ents in a 2-2 scenario, just ruin someone else's dream, because that's what they would do in that scenario, I think.
I think I'm one of the few people that dares to say that Ents is obviously a great team and they've done nothing but surprising me. Saying that they're going to win this tournament, I think is a little bit ballsy. I think they are still a very young team, still a very inexperienced team in many ways. And one thing is having success, but staying on top, you know, and dealing with all that success is a complete different matter. So I think Ents is going to have a little bit of a slow period. Not necessarily saying they're not going to come back to the Ents we do know, but them going 2-2 and losing to FaZe is something I realistically could see happen. Also, I could see them, you know, winning the game tomorrow in the 2-2 scenario and going to the playoffs. So Ents is a team that have done nothing but improving, nothing but experiencing, you know, great times as of lately. But there also is a limit to how good you can get in such a short amount of time. And I think we may see the ceiling hit a little bit here.
No.
Yeah, and I think the big question marks are after the major, can they repeat the success that they had there? And obviously, the final boss of Astralis was at the end of the line, but that's a totally different story, right?
Yeah, well, as Jacob pointed out, and he's absolutely right to say so, between the first time that you surprise people and you have this crazy run, and then repeating that, that's a whole different story. Everything changes. Your perspective when you go into a tournament, the expectations from not only yourself, your teammate, but the fans, the way you go into a game, the way people prepare against you. Because you know, when they went to the major, obviously people knew they were dangerous, but not to that level. So can you imagine how people prepare now for Ents? And another thing that we also mentioned yesterday is because they play a fundamentally sound Counter-Strike, they don't throw away rounds, there is some logic to it. There's a routine in it. So now when people really focus on Ents, maybe they find, you know, they can find weaknesses. So it's another kind of challenge for Ents to be able to repeat what they do, but just a little bit differently, so not to be readable.
To be fair, though, like they did repeat that success at the Blast event in Sao Paulo. They
Yep.
were very close getting into the grand final. So it's not like Ents is going to drop off completely to the same aspects that you just said. You know, they have a very fundamental style of playing Counter-Strike, so it's very secure in that way. But going from being, you know, potentially the second best team in the world to all of a sudden doing that consistently over and over again when you're facing the likes of FaZe, who at some point is going to have a great tournament. You just have to believe that, you know, when Nico on the lineup. So it's a tough task for them.
Yeah, and the toughest part of today is this. I have to shut it down.
Seriously?
We're done.
Oh, no.
We're done here. The ship has sailed, and so have we. We are out of here, and we will be back tomorrow where we're going to determine who's going on and who's going home. Either way, that does it for us. Good night, everybody.